welcome to the special broadcast on DD India on counting day for Maharashtra and Jharkhand assembly polls. In Maharashtra, the ruling Mahayuti alliance of BJP, Shiv Sena and the NCP is comfortably sailing to victory well beyond the majority mark of 145. It's really a landslide victory from the trend so far. And in Jharkhand, the ruling JMM-led alliance is leading as of now. So what does this really mean for the main players in the fray? And who will be the chief ministers of both the states? Could there be any surprise in store? We will analyze all that and more. I'm Manman Bhattacharya. Let's get started with the headlines. In India's assembly polls, NDA crosses majority mark in Maharashtra and JMM Congress crosses the halfway mark in Jharkhand. Putin vows Russia will keep testing new missile in combat. Ukraine's Zelensky calls use of missile a severe escalation. Sentencing in Donald Trump's hush money case postponed indefinitely. A legal win for the US president-elect as he prepares to return to the White House. And in cricket, after staging a sensational comeback on day 2 of the Perth Test, India wraps up Aussie innings with 46 runs lead at lunch. And today, through the day, we will bring you the latest on the big election results from Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Let's get started. So the BJP-led Mahayuti alliance crossed the halfway mark, leading in over 220 seats so far, while the opposition Mahavikas Aghadi alliance is trailing with 55 seats as per the trend so far. According to initial trends, the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena is leading in 58 seats, 57 you can see on the screens. So it's really a toss-up between 57 and 58 at this point in time. The NCP in 35 seats, as you can see on the screen. Again, a toss-up between 35 and 36. And the BJP has the most. It is leading in 124 seats. Again, a toss-up between 124 and 126. Also, meanwhile, in the Mahavikas Aghadi, the NCP, Sharad Chandra Pawar faction is leading in 11 seats, it says. But here you see on 13 seats. So again, very close to 11 or 13. Congress in 19 seats. We are showing you 22. So we are showing numbers which are wavering a little bit. Also, the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena is leading, if you can see on the screens, on 18 seats at this point in time. In Maharashtra, the polling for the Legislative Assembly was held on Wednesday with a turnout of over 66%, surpassing the 61% recorded in the 2019 elections. The Mahayuti alliance, which includes the BJP, Shiv Sena and NCP, is in a tough contest with the MVA alliance consisting of Congress, Shiv Sena and NCP. Both alliances view the increased voter turnout as a sign of support for the respective campaigns. But it is pretty clear now that the Mahayuti alliance will be forming the government in Maharashtra, because it has not only moved beyond the halfway mark of 144 to the majority mark of 145 in the Maharashtra Assembly election. It has moved well beyond. This is more than a landslide victory. 3/4 of the seats as per the leads are currently with the Mahayuti, led by the BJP and the other parties as well, NCP and Shiv Sena. And let's take a look at Jharkhand now. Here in Jharkhand, JMM has emerged as the single largest party with 30 seats, followed by the BJP at 24 seats, and then the Congress at 14 seats. Remember, there are two alliances here that are in the fray. There is an alliance that is led by the BJP. AJSU is also part of that alliance, and so are JDU as well as LJP Ramvilas, and that is of course at the number 2 position. So the NDA at number 2 position with 26 seats from what you are seeing at this point in time. And the JMM, Congress and RJD combined seem set now to form the government there, because together this is coming to around 49 seats. Remember, the halfway mark is 51 and 2/3 majority mark is a little over 50 at this point in time. To tell you exactly, 54 is a 3/4 majority mark, but the JMM-led alliance is well above the majority mark of 41. Joining us for perspective are Shekhar Iyer, a political analyst, and also Shishir Shelar is joining us, I understand, from Mumbai for his views as well. So the big story really coming in from Maharashtra. Shishir, I'll come to you now. What does this really mean for the political legacies of Sharad Pawar as well as of Uddhav Thackeray?
I believe, Munmum, these numbers even BJP must have not predicted earlier, because they're also quite cautious. The reason behind I'm talking this is because when we came here in the morning, there was no big leaders available here to talk to media also, and they were quite cautious also because no one has spoke in front of media since morning from BJP side and Maharashtra side I'm talking about. But looking at this number, another leaders have started coming in. Probably that's the reason what we have seen in Haryana. BJP want to take a very careful steps here in Maharashtra, even though the numbers are coming in their favor. We have seen here now the BJP people have started, leaders have started coming in. We have seen here that Vinod Tavde just arrived in the BJP office. Few minutes back, we have seen that BJP also bought some sweet also. They've kept it inside and probably waiting for some more clarity when the numbers will get clear. But obviously, it's quite a clean sweep that the Congress and the India Alliance have got in Maharashtra. Earlier, if you look at any other exit polls probably which have seen came a couple of days back here, and they have showing a neck-to-neck fight in Maharashtra. Even if you take the wildest exit poll, if you believe, even that also has given some good numbers to the India Alliance in Maharashtra. But now what we have seen, the trends here, according to these trends, the India Alliance is actually even not crossing the 70 or 80 numbers. Obviously, these are initial trends. The numbers may change in a couple of hours more. But overall, if you look at the picture, the BJP has quite a good start here and probably in a quite winning position in Maharashtra.
So are you saying, Shishir, that BJP itself is pleasantly surprised really looking at the trends so far, and who really becomes the chief minister? Are they really hoping that Devendra Fadnavis will make it this time, or is it almost clear that once again it will be Eknath Shinde given the Maratha factor?
Well, looking at this number, I think there should not be any confusion in the minds that who will be the chief minister. What actually the political pundit at this point in time saying, looking at this number, that BJP is emerging as the single largest party and probably they get a chance here. But who will be the face? That is the main question lies here, and that's what probably we may see in next few hours if these numbers and if these trends continues and if BJP gets this number. Then of course the major question to be asked here that who will be the face of chief minister in Maharashtra from the Mahayuti Alliance. Now, of course, looking at this number, what exactly went in favor of BJP? Probably this is quite an initial trend and it's quite a speculation that we're talking at this point in time. But still, when we're talking about the neck-to-neck fight, looking at this trend, it doesn't look a neck-to-neck fight. It's showing that BJP is getting quite a stronger numbers in Maharashtra along with the alliance. We'll have to again see to it that the alliance partner along with the BJP has also performing quite well. Looking at the Shiv Sena Shinde faction and the Ajit Pawar NCP faction, both of them have got quite a good number because those numbers were not reflected in any of the exit polls here. And that's the reason, if you look at these numbers, even the allied partners had outperformed here. And that's the reason, again, this the thing is coming to power that what exactly went in favor of the UT. Probably some of the initial explanation that most of the people are talking in Maharashtra is, of course, the increased numbers in the voting percentage. If you look compared to 2009, it was around 59%. It went in 2014 here, it goes to 63%, and that time we have seen that BJP has got a clear mandate in Maharashtra. So you are saying higher voter turnout and also higher turnout of women may have played a role here in the landslide victory that Mahayuti Alliance has registered. As per the trend so far, we'll come back to you in a bit. Amit Mukherjee, my colleague, senior editor of DD India, is joining us from the newsroom as well. Amit, can you put this in perspective for us? I asked Shishir earlier about what really this means for the legacies of the two strongmen, Uddhav Thackeray as well as Sharad Pawar. Are the political fates sealed in a sense?
Well, Moon, I must say it's a very, very emphatic sort of a performance, in terms of maintaining the leads by the Mahayuti, led by the BJP alliance. In fact, BJP, if you look at the numbers, this is one of the best performances BJP ever had in Maharashtra. In fact, the last time we saw it, it clocked around 122 seats out of the 288 seats. So this time, looking at the trends, it's quite clear that BJP might again be, making history again in Maharashtra, winning more than 122 seats as the trends now show. Now, again, I would like to point out that, see, the trends are, a lot of people are saying these are initial trends. But if you look at the numbers, the leads have been pretty emphatic. In fact, less than 20 seats have got margins which are less than 5,000, which means that in the other seats, the leads are well above 5,000 mark, which means that very little chance of these, that kind of a lead, showing an absolutely reverse trend. So the lead which is being maintained by the Mahayuti in Maharashtra right now, about 216, 210 plus seats, it is likely to continue, and BJP definitely is going to get about, BJP plus is definitely going to get about 2/3 majority in the Maharashtra Assembly as it seems right now.
Oh, absolutely. Amit, we'll come back to you. Shishir, I'll take a question to you on the issues that really you think were the most important in this election and which is why the Mahayuti Alliance has made it. But before that, I'll come to you, Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist. Shekhar ji, is there a tectonic shift in Maharashtra politics as a result of the outcome of these elections? I was listening to Shiv Sena Uddhav faction leader Sanjay Raut, and he's questioning the outcome of the results. Like every time we see whoever party loses, questions the legitimacy of the election, and we saw that happening from the Uddhav camp in Shiv Sena. So what do you make of this? Is this a political earthquake in Maharashtra in a sense, considering what this means for Sharad Pawar's own legacy, for Uddhav Thackeray's legacy?
Well, it is indeed some kind of a collapse of the opposition. We have seen where the Congress performance has gone down. We have seen how the question whether which is the real Shiv Sena has been answered by what has happened to UBT in these elections. Also, we have seen that Sharad Pawar, of course, has somehow managed to he might have got little better, but then things have not been as good as it was expected. So one can see the level of frustration. Two questions are being settled this time, that the real Shiv Sena is Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena. And as far as NCP is concerned, Ajit Pawar has really turned the tables this time. I think this is a very, very big development. Now, there is definitely enthusiasm among BJP cadres and the rise of speculation as to whether there will be a BJP chief minister. But my understanding is, given the caste configuration in Maharashtra and given the fact they went to the elections with Eknath Shinde, BJP top leadership may not like to make any changes at this juncture. Well, there could be some kind of a new formula, maybe a rotation of chief ministership or something like that. But at the moment, I don't see that BJP will go for a big change, though this is a result which is definitely beyond BJP expectation.
So you are making a safe bet here, Shekharji. You are saying that the same chief minister will continue. Eknath Shinde will continue as chief minister. Why is that?
That is because of the caste configuration involved in this election. You know, the fact that the BJP has been working hard to woo the Maratha voters, and also the fact that the base, rather the solid base of the Mahavikas Aghadi was Marathas, Dalits and minorities. This time it has been shown that BJP has managed to win votes from larger section. So therefore, I don't see a big change being made. Fadnavis is no doubt one of the architects of this election. He has played as a strategist. He has played a definite role. But I do not see.
But you also refer to a rotational chief ministerial post.
I'm hazarding a guess. Well, because the BJP rank and file could be, would be looking for a But at the same time, given the fact that as the BJP numbers have gone up, the BJP top leadership would not like to disturb the arrangements that they secured with Eknath Shinde, who broke away from Shiv Sena and came this side. And similarly with Ajit Pawar. So I think during the campaign, we must recall a conversation that the media had with Sharad Pawar in the presence of Eknath Shinde as well as Ajit Pawar. The question was put to Fadnavis as to who would be the CM. He said, here we have a CM. and we will take a call after all it is over. So I
Yes.
don't see a big disturbance at this juncture because they would like this coalition to stabilize. But there could be some arrangement as to how BJP also gets to lead this coalition at some stage.
Yes, you are saying that there could well be a rotational arrangement, but Shishir Shelar is getting us really all the buzz from the BJP office there in Mumbai. Shishir, do you think it could come to that, a rotational arrangement where for now maybe Eknath Shinde could be the chief minister and later Devendra Fadnavis, or the other way around?
Well, it's quite early to say at this point in time that will there be a rotational policy or not. But looking at this picture, because right now the Mahayuti contested election under the leadership of Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, even though BJP has a maximum number in the last government here, in spite of that, we have seen here that the Chief Minister post was given to the Eknath Shinde, looking at the caste factor also and looking at the numbers that he actually got along from Shiv Sena with him. And that's the reason we've seen here that the BJP has given the Chief Minister post to the Eknath Shinde. But now the picture is quite different here. Even though the BJP has not got the single-handed majority here, they actually will need a support here, because looking at these trends, the 145 marks to cross, BJP will need allied partners here. And that's the reason we have seen that two allied partners are stood quite strong at this point in time.
But Shishir,
looking at these
in
initial
the
trends
outgoing
also.
government, there were two deputy chief ministers. So the option of having deputy chief ministers is also there, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, that the two deputy chief minister and the chief minister, will this combination continues or not, or will there be only a chief minister and no deputy chief minister also? That also need to be, we have to look after it. But looking at this, it seems that the one chief minister and two deputy chief minister combination looks quite good, with this Mahayuti, and that's what they performed also in last 2.5 years. And if you look at their performances, it seems that the BJP will continue with the one chief minister and two deputy chief ministers, because the allied partners have also got quite a stronger seat here. So these are one speculation also. This is just a speculation, but no final talk about it has came into media also. But now looking at this number, the main question is that who will be the chief minister? The BJP has got the maximum number. Looking at these trends, is emerging as the single largest party. Will they retain the chief minister post with them, or probably go with the Eknath Shinde faction also, and will keep another important ministerial portfolio with them? That is a major question lies here.
Absolutely. On the issues, I'll come to you, but before that, Shekhar Ayerji, what do you think really swayed the election in favor of Mahayuti? So much so that this is a landslide election. So there's definitely a wave here. It could have been an undercurrent that not many people could have forecast, like the pollsters didn't see such a landslide coming. But what do you think really has swung it in a sense for Mahayuti?
Well, I think the Mahayuti fought the elections better than the Mahavikas Aghadi, whether in terms of seat sharing, in terms of taking some decisions. You see, particularly the rollout of Ladli Behan Yojana, which is being seen as a very big game changer. And also the fact that Eknath Shinde as Chief Minister brought a distinct style to the functioning of the Chief Minister's office compared to his predecessor Uddhav Thackeray. And overall, number of decisions that were taken, and particularly the progress made on the infrastructure front, which Eknath Shinde's government took as soon as they took charge. All these went on to give an impression that here is a government that is functioning better than the predecessor. On the other hand, there were problems within the Mahavikas Aghadi. First, there was the question of projecting the chief ministerial candidate, which Uddhav Thackeray was insisting should be from his own party, that is himself. But Congress was not prepared to accept that, because Congress formula was, we will decide on this question later depending on which party has maximum number of seats. So I think right from start, the hiccups on the Vikas Aghadi front were too many. And at the same time, see, in terms of candidate selection, the Mahayuti went through also the pangs of, I would say, finding the right candidate, the issue of rebel candidates, and all these were there. And one thing, Munmun, we must remember in these results as they are coming, BJP and Congress were facing each other in 75 seats. So if the BJP strike rate appears better, then it is a pointer to how the Congress has managed this election. Similarly, between Sena versus Sena, that is between Ajit Pawar Sena versus Sharad Pawar Sena, there was direct fight in 47 seats. So you can imagine how that has come out. Similarly, if you look at NCP versus NCP, the direct fight was in 38 seats. So all these are also a pointer to how this election has been fought, how the UP has managed it at the ground level, at the candidate level, and also in terms of projection of issues. Because there was no depth of issues, whether it was prices of onion, soya, or cotton, joblessness, rural distress. There were several issues, but I think this election was not just about issues on the ground, but also about the identity of the parties, identity of the leadership.
Okay. शिशिर, एक हैं तो सेफ हैं, बटेंगे तो कटेंगे, two slogans given by the BJP. The Prime Minister also used these slogans. Has there been a consolidation of votes? Also, has there been a pro-incumbency this time around, considering the financial assistance scheme for women, particularly?
Well, it's quite early to say, but obviously, if it's a win, then probably we may say that there are many factors involved in it. One is, of course, the kind of a narrative the BJP and the Mahayuti alliance have set in. Because last time we have seen the narrative of Samvidhan Bachao was actually gone in favor of Mahavikas Aghadi, and that's the reason we have seen that the numbers of BJP and other parties have reduced to the half in Maharashtra. And the Mahavikas Aghadi has got the upper hand when it comes to parliament seat. BJP knows this fact quite well, and that's the reason to handle this narrative, BJP came up with the ek hai to safe hai, katenge to batenge, and that's went quite well. Even though it's not clear that how much it has worked, but looking at this number, it seems that this is also one of the factor that the BJP has managed to pull this victory. And that's the reason some of the pockets in Maharashtra wherein BJP has actually kept this issue quite important one, and that's the reason even the UP Chief Minister, when Yogi Adityanath came here, BJP hold the rallies in some of the crucial constituencies, and he actually gave this slogan that ek hai to safe hai aur katenge to batenge, and that's what it seems that again came into favor of the BJP. But it's not across Maharashtra at all. These were some of the pockets that this slogan must have done quite wonder. But looking at these numbers also, this fight of narratives also compared to Lok Sabha and now to the Vidhan Sabha, it seems that BJP has now got the weapon to fight with the narrative of Samvidhan Bachao, and now they have come up with this initiative, or probably we can say slogan of ek hai to safe hai. It works in other parts, it works in Haryana also, and probably it seems that it is working in Maharashtra as well.
Okay, you're saying that slogan is working. Coming to you, sir, I was looking at the Lok Sabha poll results, and there, of course, the Congress did better than the Mahayuti. The MVA did better than the Mahayuti. So what really do you think has changed? Is it that the public anger dissipated in Maharashtra around the farmer issues particularly? Because I remember Ajit Pawar had also said that they had understood that there was farmer anger, and which is why they came up with higher MSPs for various crops and also promised them in their manifesto. So if you could tell us, Shekhar sir, why do you think these results are looking the way they are just 6 months after the Lok Sabha polls, where the opposition alliance MVA did better in terms of winning seats, not so much in terms of vote share compared to the Mahayuti alliance?
Well, in the Lok Sabha elections, the issue of that was raised by Uddhav Thackeray as well as Sharad Pawar about they being betrayed by their own party leaders, that is Ajit Pawar in the case of Sharad Pawar and Eknath Shinde in the case of Uddhav Thackeray. That generated a lot of sympathy, and BJP was blamed because it was seen as behind them, and that is why the sympathy factor was made a big deal. And also the fact the opposition campaign against the BJP, that it was against Dalits, and if the BJP were to come back to power at the center, the reservations would be scrapped. Though that kind of a campaign created a lot of damage to BJP, not just in Maharashtra but also in Uttar Pradesh. But I think subsequent to that, we have seen a course correction has been made, how the Prime Minister and the BJP leaders were emphatic that the opposition campaign was based on falsehood. And also Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar were counting too much on the sympathy factor. But then sympathy factor is not a permanent issue. Sympathy does not remain forever. And that is what is being proved in this election. That it helped them in that election. I think subsequently, with the rollout of other things, particularly Ladli Behan Yojana, the women voters particularly. And we must also take into account the polling percentage. The number of people who went to vote this time has gone up by 5 to 6%, which is also a very big change compared to the previous assembly election. That goes to show several things changed. There was course correction by Mahayuti. There was the bid to ensure that the Yuti appeared to be more united in its effort. And in the case of Mahavikas Aghadi, it was more about, for instance, in the Western Maharashtra particularly, the fight between Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar was projected by the Sharad Pawar faction as some kind of a prestige fight, more of a family fight rather than an issue between two factions of a party which had split long ago. So one can see that nothing is permanent in politics. No issue can be dominant forever. I think the sympathy factor does not appear to have given any benefit to Uddhav Thackeray or Sharad Pawar. That is one. And the second thing is, in terms of the performance of Eknath Shinde government, that also counted on the minds of the people. And one cannot underestimate the impact of Ladli Behan Yojana. Almost 2 crore people have managed to get in the last 3 months, direct payment into their bank accounts at the rate of 1,500 rupees a month. That was a big game changer. Opposition came with promises like we would double it for 3,000, but people thought a bird in hand is worth 2 in bush.
Absolutely. Let's get some visuals of celebrations at the BJP office in Mumbai, and the flags of the BJP are being waved at this point in time. Fireworks as well. Time for celebrations and sweets for the BJP in Maharashtra. It has retained power and in style, because this is a landslide majority for the Mahayuti ruling alliance in Maharashtra. The MVA has bitten dust, the opposition alliance has bitten dust, and this is also being seen as a fight for the legacy of the real Shiv Sena and the real NCP. And the people's mandate, it seems, is that Eknath Shinde represents the real Shiv Sena, and NCP's real face now is Ajit Pawar. So a big moment of celebration for the BJP in Maharashtra. It's got a landslide victory there. BJP is leading in 128 seats, Shiv Sena on 53 seats, NCP on 36 seats. That's well over 200 seats, and the other parties are trailing. The Congress on 19 seats, it is leading. And of course, the other parties also, like Shiv Sena Uddhav faction on 19 and NCP Sharad Pawar faction on 13. Now, the big question is that who will be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra? Will it be the Brahmin face of the BJP, Devendra Fadnavis, or will it be the Maratha face of Shiv Sena, which is Eknath Shinde? Could Ajit Pawar become the Deputy Chief Minister again? Because the BJP on its own has not been able to cross the majority mark of 145. It needs the support of allies like the NCP as well as the Shiv Sena to form the government. The question is, will the present arrangement continue of one Chief Minister as Eknath Shinde and 2 Deputy Chief Ministers as Ajit Pawar so the question is, will this present arrangement really continue, or will there be a change? Could Devendra Fadnavis from the Deputy Chief Minister become the Chief Minister? Sweets being distributed, celebrations really taking place in the BJP offices in Maharashtra. So a moment to celebrate, a big landslide victory. Various slogans were given, Katenge to Batenge and Ek Hain to Safe Hain. All these slogans seem to have worked. Also pro-incumbency, promises made to farmers. It seems that the whatever little anger was visible in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls has dissipated for the ruling alliance. Also, The big financial assistance scheme that became very popular for women seems to have paid dividends as well, the majority mark being 145. And what a sweep this has been for the Mahayuti alliance led by the BJP and alongside, of course, Shiv Sena as well as the NCP. So these are the leads that we are getting from Maharashtra. BJP leading on 127 now, Shiv Sena on 53, NCP on 35. Major defeat for both Uddhav Thackeray as well as for Sharad Pawar. Factions of both the parties, the NCP as well as Shiv Sena, and celebrations are continuing in Maharashtra BJP camps there, sweets being distributed, fireworks taking place. This is a victory that perhaps not many within the BJP would have anticipated. The pollsters got it wrong. They were showing more or less a tight contest. No one showed a 3/4 sort of majority for the Mahayuti alliance. But here are the numbers in terms of the leads, and leads are out for all the 288 out of the 288 seats. And like my colleague Amit was telling us earlier, the margin of victory is not so slim this time around. In most seats, it is more than 5,000 votes, and so no turnaround is expected. Shishir Shelar continues to be with us. Shishir, tell us all the buzz at the BJP headquarters. What are they thinking? They are already discussing cabinet portfolios, and what really happens from here on in terms of the procedure? Will the BJP Parliamentary Board in Delhi take a call, and will the focus then shift to the parliamentary party, the legislature party that is of the BJP in the state?
Well, absolutely. Slow and steadily the momentum is building, but I will tell my camera person to show some of the visuals in BJP office. Since morning there were no leaders, but now we can see that the entire office, the party office, is now been decorated here. Probably we've got the news that some of the leaders will be arriving at the party office. Looking at these numbers and the trends, it seems that they are into quite comfortable win, and that's the reason, even though it's a cautious move, and now the BJP is quite confident about this victory, and that's the reason the preparation is being they've been doing all across the party headquarters in Mumbai. We have seen the flags of the BJP. At the same time, the stage has been built here for the leaders to come when they'll come to address the party leaders also and the party worker as well. And that's the reason this is what the actual pictures of the BJP headquarters. Since morning, there were actually quite a few people were there except media persons. But now we have seen that the party cadre has started coming in. We have seen some of the important leaders have also came into the party headquarters here. And going forward, we may see some of the big faces will also be coming to the party quarters here. And we can also see that the party workers across Maharashtra will be arriving in Mumbai. Well, this, as I told you, that momentum is slowly building in BJP headquarters here. They are quite cautious at this point in time, but quite happy at the same time. And that's what, when the leaders of some of the leaders, they came here, we asked them that how do you see this, particular numbers and initial trends. They've actually said that these are initial trend, but we are actually quite happy. At the same time, they said that if the trend continues, then probably this will be one of the biggest victory for the BJP and for the India alliance. We haven't got any words even from the allied partners as well. Not even from the Eknath Shinde camp or even from the Ajit Pawar camp here. But looking at these numbers, both the parties have got quite a comfortable numbers. Now, of course, the main picture things here, that how this party will come into the table and who will get what. Looking at the current scenario, and especially looking at the cabinet distribution in the last government, I don't think so there will be many changes, in spite some of the important portfolios BJP may retain with themselves, but which are the portfolios and how there will be distribution of the power among these three parties will be an important task to look after, because obviously in now probably a few days we can say that 26 is the last day for the current assembly. And that's the reason if it goes beyond 26, probably we may see a precedent rule here. But now BJP will act quite fast on this, and how exactly they're going to garner the numbers and they will go to the governor house. That is a major question. How the entire cabinet will be distributed, that is a second important task. Although even the seat distribution was quite smooth it seems that even the cabinet distribution won't be a problematic thing for the India alliance and for the BJP as well. Because what we have seen here during the seat distribution, all the three leaders sat together and have distributed the seats here, even though few seats were quite controversial, but in spite of that, we haven't got any news in the media. It means that the India alliance and these three leaders, Devendra Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde, have tackled this issue quite carefully. And that's the reason there wasn't any spillage in the media as far as the truce between the parties here. Even we can see that the same will continue when it comes to cabinet distribution also, because they know that if they're coming to power, then obviously there has to be some kind of compromise among themselves. And what I assume is that probably they must have thought about it, and there won't be any much trouble or probably any much talk about the cabinet distribution. Even that will also go quite smoothly.
Yes, Shekhar Iyer, if you're still with us, what do you think now the opposition MVA will do as a strategy? We've already seen a part of it with one Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction leader Sanjay Raut questioning the whole electoral result process and not saying anything in particular, but casting a shadow of doubt over the election outcomes. We've seen this so often by the losing side in previous elections. So do you think they'll try to flog this particular issue going forward?
Yeah, because there is nothing else left for them to do, because they do not realize, at least Sanjay Raut and Uddhav Thackeray should realize, the genesis of today's results lies in what happened in 2019. How Shiv Sena, a united Shiv Sena, left the company of BJP to join hands with the Congress party and NCP, led by Sharad Pawar, to form an alliance which was very unnatural alliance, because Shiv Sena had always been a partner of the BJP for more than 3 decades. And since then, of course, Uddhav Thackeray did something his father would have never done. He himself occupied the chair of the chief ministership. And then there was a period of COVID. There was a lot of unhappiness among the Maha Vikas Aghadi MLAs as to the functioning of the chief minister's office. And even Sharad Pawar went on record on this. So there were a lot of difficulties. And then what we saw was that finally when the revolt happened in Shiv Sena and Eknath Shinde managed to take away a large number of MLAs with him and joined hands with the BJP, saying that it was getting difficult in that alliance which had been cobbled up by Uddhav Thackeray with Sharad Pawar and the Congress. So naturally there was a lot of bitterness in the mind of Uddhav Thackeray, which we saw through the Lok Sabha campaign as well as this time. But what the voters have shown is that Shiv Sena probably blundered on a decision like that in 2019. And today Uddhav Thackeray is left with a party that is largely diminished and also lost its popular base. So, and in the case of Sharad Pawar, I think the whole problem was about who should be leading the party after him. And he seemed to have not favored his nephew Ajit Pawar. And that led to Ajit Pawar leaving the party. And at that time, the BJP Sena did not need Ajit Pawar's MLAs to sustain the government. Nevertheless, they came out and they supported this alliance, joined the government too. And also we must not forget, Munmun, when we are looking at the figures of BJP, which has now, which has scored more than 120 seats, that BJP has also contested a maximum number of seats. They contested 149 places this time. So in any case, they were the largest party in this Mahayuti. So therefore, I think to see that should lead to a dramatic change, the arrangement is seems to be out of question at this juncture.
Absolutely, and I was looking at the region-wise leads as well, and Shishir, BJP doing very well in Marathwada and Vidarbha. The results are quite different from what we had seen last time around in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, where the BJP did not do so well in Marathwada and Vidarbha, but now it is leading in both these regions, besides other regions like North Maharashtra and Konkan as well. But we leave it at that. Shishir Shelar and Shekhar Iyer, thank you so much for speaking to us. So this is how the picture looks like. BJP leading on 126 seats, Shiv Sena on 53 and NCP on 34. Together they make the Mahayuti alliance. So this is more than 200 seats, and that is very close to a 3/4 majority, much more than the 2/3 majority, which is called a landslide majority. A lot of scope for introspection and soul searching for the Congress, for Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction, for Uddhav Thackeray particularly, and also for the NCP Sharad Pawar faction. For Sharad Pawar particularly, is this really the end of their political fate in a sense? And have the people of Maharashtra accepted Eknath Shinde as the face of Shiv Sena and Ajit Pawar as the face of NCP? Who will be the chief minister? Will the present arrangement continue with Eknath Shinde as the chief minister and Devendra Fadnavis as the deputy chief minister and Ajit Pawar as the deputy chief minister? Or can there be some sort of switch now or a rotational chief minister arrangement? That remains to be seen. But we'll take a break at this point in time. More news on the other side on DD India, but this is also the place to be for the most accurate and credible outcomes of the Maharashtra and Jharkhand assembly elections. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Our environment is becoming increasingly unlivable and polluted. So we need to fix that, sure, but we also need to take steps to prevent these problems from happening in the first place.
This is our upgraded form of our effluent treatment plant. It's a primary plant that recycles and reuses water for relining purposes.
I think that renewable energy is a sector that can change the GDP of Ladakh. If you can generate power and sell it to other states, you can increase the income of Ladakh.
When we're looking at renewables investment, which clearly has been growing rapidly, and in 2022 met that from fossil fuel, and 2023 far exceeded it.
Our motto is that all the farmers should switch to millet farming and nutritious food should reach people.
Welcome to Jaipur.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. Look at some other news stories from around the world, particularly Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday announced that Russia would continue testing the hypersonic Oreshnik missile, which was launched at Ukraine the previous day, and initiate mass production of the new missile system. Putin added that there are no countermeasures that exist for such a missile and no means of intercepting it are available anywhere in the world today. Further, he also emphasized that testing of this newest system will continue and the establishment of serial production is deemed necessary.
Yesterday, I informed the personnel of the armed forces, citizens of Russia, our allies around the world, as well as those who are trying to blackmail us with force about the newest Russian medium-range missile system. This is your complex, which you call Oreshnik. This is a ballistic missile in a non-nuclear hypersonic equipment. As we know from the analysis of objective control data, the tests were successful. And as has already been said, we will continue these tests, including in combat conditions, depending on the situation and the nature of the security threats that are created for Russia.
Ukraine's President Zelensky has meanwhile described Russia's use of the new missile as an escalation. He stated that meetings are already being held by the Minister of Defense of Ukraine with their partners regarding new air defense systems that are capable of protecting lives from new risks. He also emphasized that vigilance must be maintained by Ukrainians. Shifting focus to the United States now, the judge in Donald Trump's criminal hush money case on Friday delayed his sentencing indefinitely. The judge overseeing Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial has adjourned his sentencing, which was set for next Tuesday. The judge also granted Trump's request to file a motion to dismiss the case, ordering his legal team to submit their papers by the 2nd of December, and prosecutors have a week to respond now. Trump was convicted in May this year on 34 felony counts involving hush money paid to an adult film star. US President-elect Donald Trump continues to nominate allies for his new White House team. Trump picked prominent investor Scott Bessent to take on the role of US Treasury Secretary on Friday. Trump in a statement said Scott is widely respected as one of the world's foremost international investors and geopolitical and economic strategist, and a longtime hedge fund manager. Bessent has publicly called for steep cuts to government spending. Bessent, like Trump, advocates tariffs, viewing them as a way to raise revenues and protect American industries. Congresswoman Lori Chavez DeRemer of Oregon, also named by Trump to serve as his labor secretary. Trump called Chavez DeRemer Trump said that he has worked tirelessly with business and labor to build the U.S. workforce and support Americans. Chavez, who was elected to the U.S. Congress in 2022, lost her seat to Democrat Janelle Bynum earlier this month. Former NFL player Scott Turner was nominated by President-elect Trump for the position of Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Trump in a statement credited Turner with helping to lead an unprecedented effort that transformed our country's most distressed communities. US President-elect also named Dave Weldon as his choice to serve as director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Weldon is a medical doctor and former lawmaker who served in the US House of Representatives representing Florida. Trump has also chosen Russ Vought to be the director of the U.S. Office of Management and Budget, a powerful agency that helps decide the president's policy priorities and how to pay for them. Vought would play a major role in setting budget priorities and implementing Trump's campaign promise to roll back government regulations. Donald Trump has nominated Dr. Janet Nishaiwat as the next U.S. Surgeon General. A family medicine doctor, she is known for her advocacy in preventive medicine and public health. She has extensive experience, including treating patients during the COVID-19 pandemic and providing disaster relief globally. Trump praised her communication skills, vital for educating the public on health issues. The Surgeon General's role gained prominence with health warnings like those on cigarette packaging. Her appointment requires Senate confirmation. Donald Trump has nominated Dr. Martin Makary as FDA Commissioner. A surgeon and author, Makary has criticized excessive treatments in the U.S. healthcare. He developed the surgery checklist, improving outcomes worldwide, and advocates for reforms like reducing antibiotic overuse. Trump believes Makary will cut FDA red tape to expedite access to cures. Makary has voiced concerns about COVID mandates and touted national immunity. If confirmed, he will report to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's controversial pick for health and human services. The Senate must approve Makary's appointment. News now from the world of entertainment. Australia is the focus country this time with the 55th edition of India International Film Festival, and many Australian films are getting premiered this time at the event. DD India's Deepika gets you an exclusive report from Goa on the country of focus and how Australian filmmakers are taking this as an opportunity for themselves.
The 55th edition of International Film Festival of India has a strong emphasis on sharing cinema with the world. And this time, the country of focus is Australia. Speaking on being the country of focus, Australian film director Tom McKeith shared his views on how this will provide a perfect opportunity to the Australian cinema.
Look, there's a big Indian population in Australia, and we watch quite a lot of Indian films in our country as well as American films as well. And I think the big opportunity for us, because we're a small country with a small market, is an opportunity to reach a larger audience. And if we can create films that can appeal to both countries, then that's certainly a benefit to Australians and to filmmakers, because we have the opportunity to share our stories with a wider audience. So I think that's the really exciting thing, and why I think collaboration between the two countries really makes sense and could be of value to everybody.
IFFI celebrating Australian cinema, highlighting the growing connections between India and Australia as both the nations continue to strengthen their cultural and screen industry ties. The Australian delegation includes key industry leaders from Screen Australia, Ozfilm, Screen Producers Australia, and a host of filmmakers, producers and creatives who are participating in the Film Bazaar and IFFI screenings. IFFI provides a perfect platform to the Indian cinema that allows them to connect with the world cinema and vice versa.
India happens to be the country of focus, this time at the 55th edition of IFFI. With camera person Alok, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from Goa.
On to sports news now. Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul are dealing in boundaries and playing some good cricket against Australia on day 2 of the Perth Test. The duo is looking confident in its approach as India are enjoying the momentum against Australia's dominating pace attack. Earlier, Jasprit Bumrah took a 5-wicket haul as India bundled out Australia for 104 on day 2 of the first Test in Perth. Resuming the day at 67 for 7, Australia lost the wicket of Alex Carey and Nathan Lyon in the early stages. However, the partnership between Mitchell Starc and Josh Hazlewood brought the Aussies some momentum. However, India were able to bundle out Australia at 104 and take 46 runs lead. And before we wind up, let's take a look at the latest from Maharashtra and Jharkhand, where counting is underway, we know, for the assembly elections. The breaking news coming in, BJP's Kalidas Neelkant Kolambar has won from Vadala seat. So it's one victory after another for prominent BJP leaders particularly. And BJP is well past the 2/3 majority mark, even past the 3/4 majority mark, it seems, on many occasions. Of course, the trends is what we are seeing at this point in time. Most of them are consolidating, and it is expected that by the end of the day, we will know who is the front runner for the Chief Minister's position. Will it be Eknath Shinde or will it be Devendra Fadnavis? And who would be the Deputy Chief Minister? Will it be a rotational Chief Minister arrangement, or will it be one Chief Minister and 2 Deputy Chief Ministers, or just one Chief Minister for the next 5 years? So this is the leads and results tally for Maharashtra. BJP leading on 127, Shiv Sena on 56, NCP on 38. Together they make the Mahayuti alliance, followed by MVA, the Mahavikas Aghadi, which is the opposition alliance. Congress leading on 17, Shiv Sena Uddhav faction on 19, NCP Sharad Pawar faction on 14, and others at 17. But it seems that the decks are clear for the Mahayuti to retain power and form the government once again. Remains to be seen, of course, who would be the Chief Minister, whether it will be Eknath Shinde or whether there will be a change of face. And in Jharkhand, it seems that the GMM-led alliance is all set to form the government there once again, and Hemant Soren could continue to be the Chief Minister. And that's it then in this edition of DD India News Hour. But do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching, and Shubhendu will join you in just a bit to take you through the latest as far as trends and results are concerned from Maharashtra and Jharkhand Assembly elections. I'll take your leave. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.